Hello. So, picked up some flowers today, and later today I'm going to put those flowers in the wishing well that was once a beehive. But first of all, I'm going to cut the roof on this. This is Western red cedar. It's rotten here in the middle. I'm going to cut the roof out for this, my second tree house. Yep. So with this tree house, lots of you normal subscribers know that I put the first one I carved in front of my house. So this one is two feet wide. Yeah, it's 2 feet wide. How tall is it? 5.5 feet. 67 inches or something. So what I'm going to do is I got my squares here. I'm going to square it up and I'm going to cut the same roof that I did same roof as I did with my last tree house. It's going to have 4 points. Now it's early in the morning, so I'm just kind of going, I'm not rushing today. I've been rushing to sell those planters and stuff, and I'm just gonna, my object today is to get this roof carved out and put inside the tent, maybe. So here's the rot. Oh, here. So I'm gonna have to, I asked myself, should I fix this, because this is going to be the center of the roof. Should I fix this before I do the carving, the roof, or after? Well, I'll do it after, because then, well, it just makes more sense. So I let it sit out and dry in the sun so I can see where the big cracks are going. So let me get a pen. Man, I thought I had pens in my pocket. Stand by. And this will be a series. Like, I'm not going to work on this every day. I'll just kind of putter away at it, take my time, not rush it like I normally rush most of my things and wreck it. So you see there's a crack there, so I'll make that, I'm going to try and make that one of the valleys for the roof. There's more cracks here. Just don't know, but I think this one let out the farthest. This is second or third growth cedar. It comes from a property next town over. But it's nice cedar. Just the thing with this second or third growth, which means it was planted by man, it's super heavy. This log's probably like, I don't know, 2,000 pounds. There's a wider view. So let me get this. It's going to be like an X. I just want to square it up. And it doesn't matter. It's a fantasy house. If it's not perfectly perfect, who cares? It's fantasy. That's why I suggest doing fantasy stuff for the very beginners, because it can just, you know, if you're carving a wood spirit, it doesn't look like a wood spirit. Say you're trying to carve an elf or something, you know? So let me get this put on with my squares, then I got to measure down the sides and all that stuff, and I don't want to bore you. Here's a piece of that old redwood coffee table I got that was epoxied that I'm going to make my next lamp out of. I'm going to cut that up today too. So it's hard to feel motivated. This is like one of the bigger carvings I've done. I'm not really typically fond of doing these big carvings. I'm just as happy as doing the Dremel. So I'll stop whining, get motivated. So you can see here, I got these lines on here, center line. So I have to make sure. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going to put my bar in here and cut this out. Stop here and then slope it that way too. It's not just doing a straight cut in there. You gotta slope it when you're going, because here's a peak, right? I can't just put my saw in here and cut, because it will cut over to here. So I gotta be very careful where the tip of the bar goes. And I'm just gonna use my 500i with the stock bar on there. But first of all, I got my PV here. And if you guys got big logs and stuff like that, and you carve bigger stuff, these PVs are super handy if you don't have a forklift. Well, I got a forklift right there, but it's called the Backbreaker Carving Fusion forklift. So I'm gonna spin this out, get it farther away from the tent so I can do that cut in there when I need to do that. This will kind of be a Geordie does. I just kind of, don't shit your pants. I plowed that stick in the top there too so I can see where the tip of my bar is. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this with this log. Is mic working? Which way do I want to roll it? Do I want to roll it out this way? Or do I want to roll it out? I think I want to roll it this way. Ha! I'm not in any rush. Now she's moving. Perfect. I guess I should move those flowers out of that planter. Because plants don't like cedar, red cedar anyway, western red cedar anyways. Okay. Can do my cut. 4 peaks it's gonna have. I'm gonna take a little break, put my chaps on. And start cutting. And the top is not cut flat either. I don't care. It's like, well, I shouldn't say I don't care. It doesn't matter because it can just give the roof more movement. Like, so in here, I don't think I filmed the first time I did the roof for this. Like here, it doesn't matter if this valley drops a bit because, like I said, it's fantasy. Nothing needs to be a straight line. Like, if that makes sense to you, the less of a straight line it is, the more it looks cool, I think. When I am cutting this, I'll have my chaps on, I'll have my earbuds in. I got my normal glasses for eye protection. I might even put on safety glasses. So, this bar, I don't know how big this bar is, but if it's not big enough, I got another one hanging up over there. That's bigger than that one. That's what I like about these Geordie Does videos, because, well, I can just say and do whatever I want. Well, I can on any of my videos, but this one I can just take my time. But what I'm going to do first is do this center cut on all of them, right? Because do the center cut, go like this with your saw, right, all the way to here, to this point. That way, when I cut these, I should see it rattling loose, and I can break it out with my sledgehammer or even cut it out, right? If that makes sense to you. Just do what's, I don't know, man. Just do what's easiest for you. And then the other two sides done. Okay, so I got it all blocked out. Now, I didn't make this one as steep, the roof as steep as my last one, because for all my regular subscribers, don't forget I got copper to copper this roof, make it look like there's little shingles on here, right? Little shakes. So, there's the rod. It's actually gotten thinner the deeper I carved. So I don't know what I'm going to do here. I'll think about it. But this roof's going to be like this too. Like a Japanese kind of roof. And another thing too, on my last one, this is the sapwood. Let me clean everything up here and then talk more about this. Yeah, so another thing too, throughout this video you'll hear like I'll be using my mic, then I won't be using my mic, so whatever. Carry on. Okay, you guys will hear a lawnmower in the background. The farmer's here mowing the lawn. So, because just like wood spirits, the more that you do, the better you're going to get. Let me give you the wider view here. That didn't work. On my last piece, I left this sapwood. You can see the color difference right here. Sapwood, hardwood, sapwood, hardwood. On your carvings, for the very beginners, the first wood that's going to rot on your wood is the sapwood. Okay, this is the wood, holds water. I don't know how it works. But so I didn't cut this off on my last piece, because if you can leave the sapwood on with the hardwood when you're done your carving, you can get some real nice colors. You can get the whites and the darks, right? So, but I kind of regret my last one. The sap one did have, like for this cedar, Western red cedar's bug resistant, but bugs do go in this sapwood, that's for sure. So I'm going to inspect this piece really good, make sure I don't see any bug holes around any area where the sapwood is, because if there's bug holes, then I'm going to cut this sapwood off. Lots of people just cut it off anyways, because it's not the best quality wood. But if you put a good finish on it, when it's all said and done, it's good. It's okay. It's just not as good as the hardwood. Now, so I'm going to do the inspection. So another thing I did on my last piece too is when I cut this, like say for example, here's your fascia boards. Now I cut too deep in there. I cut way deep in there. I had to remove a lot of wood inside there. So I'm not going to remind myself not to cut too deep, if that makes any sense. It's just like about that much cut. So straight cut, then remove. Now this roof, you can see the rot here. Another thing too, with my last one, I always wanted to put a friggin' wooden thing. What are they called? I was just talking to Rob about it. Just carved Rob. Hi Rob. Wooden vane. Like I was gonna buy expensive wood vane, and because they're not cheap, and put it in the top of my last one. But this has rot. Just carved Rob says I should put like a dowel in here and then have a wooden vane up higher. But I'm just not too sure. I can decide that later. But how am I going to fix all this rot? Right? Because this roof, to make it look Japanese kind of, is kind of sloped like that, right? So, but I think what I'm going to do for now with this is to see if I got some of that Gorilla Glue. Just first of all, pour some glue in there. Okay, first of all, pour some glue in there. Then I'm going to mix some up with sawdust and compact it. I'll let that dry. I think it takes a couple hours, maybe a day or something to really dry, but maybe a few hours to dry till you can carve it. And yeah, when you do that with that Gorilla Glue, you gotta, it foams, that glue once it hit, because this is a wet piece of cedar. Once that glue hits water, it expands, right? It's like that spray foam stuff. So you got to keep coming back to the piece when it's drying and push it all back into place. I'll show you guys what I mean. So, but before I carve this roof on the slope here, I think I'm going to run around and just, you can see I'm just drawing them on. I'm not measuring them or anything. Like the more kind of, and this is just my opinion, the more imperfect it is, kind of like, I don't know, the better it is. Right? So I'm just going to do a cut and then remove some wood here too. And if I gotta cut this sapwood off after, I will. But first of all, I'm gonna mix up the, I'm gonna get some glue, pour it in there. Then I'm gonna get some of this sawdust. This is, you can use finer sawdust, but I don't care. You can use some of this sawdust, mix it up, and fill up that hole. So I wish I had more of this. I don't have that much. But so like because don't forget I'm putting the copper roof on it, so it's gonna hide all of this. If I wasn't gonna put a copper roof on this, I'd cut all around here and use this glue and then put a cedar plug in there. But yeah, so I'm just gonna, I don't know, man. Hope I don't have to go to the store today and buy more. Oh boy. There you go. So I'm just doing the beginning with just the glue, then I'm going to get some sawdust and mix it up. Good enough. Hope I got enough. Okay, so I got it all. I got as much as I could with sawdust rammed in there. I found an old container of it, and this stuff doesn't have the best shelf life, but so I cut the bottom and scraped some out of there. But let's spray some water in there and see how this glue reacts to the water. Start going white and probably foam up. Anyways, now I'm going to cut these fascias and keep pushing the, see how it raises up? I got to keep pushing it down. This might be the point I'm looking for too, because my last roof I cut it here and then I came up. So this was the high point. Anyways, you got to keep coming in there and pushing it down. And wear gloves when you use this stuff, because this glue, when it gets on your hands, it takes like 3 or 4 days to bite it off your skin. Don't swallow it though. I'm going to be cutting the fascia boards out with the new Stihl MS162. I think it's a great little saw so far, with the steel carving bar, quarter pitch, 50 gauge. If you guys want to get one of these saws for the beginning chainsaw carvers, order this saw from Stihl. It might not be in your shops yet. Order the carving bar, and you have to change the sprocket. You have to put a quarter pitch sprocket inside here for it to fit this chain. I don't know, I might have to go buy some more. I don't know, I'll keep filming, whatever. Screenshot. my saw is bouncing like that? I think it's because I took my rakers down too low. Anyways, something for the haters to say something wrong. Gotta sharpen the saw. Got some baby cows here. They're hiding. There's one of the babies. Another baby over there hiding. What? What? Fresh grass. Yeah, I'm tired now. Where's the little guy? There he is, hiding back. This little guy over there. Oh, this one. Yeah, look at that little fella or little girl. There's a little gray one, little baby one over there. I wonder if cows can smell fear. Alright, good cow. Anyways, no one's. Look, I just gave you a bunch of. Lots of steaks there. Hey, just carve Rob, lots of bacon. Huh? Lots of bacon strips here. Okay, so I'm going to clean up the mess. I'm done carving for today. Then we'll talk about what I got done, what's going to go on. I still need to cut this up too. Hey, anybody notice that I painted Ride the Waves, man? Ride the Waves. And remind me to plant these flowers when I'm done here pretty soon. Man, lots of salt. Just, it's always mess. Clean up, clean up. So yeah, pieces like this now, because we can't have fires here at the farm, because that barn's old, and there's lots of hay around and stuff. But I just bag this up and take it over to my buddy's house. They're, one of them's a commercial fisherman. I don't know if you guys can hear me, I don't have my mic on. One of them's a commercial fisherman, actually he's my old roommate, and he brings me crabs over, so I just bag up the firewood for them and leave it at their back door. It's kind of funny, that garage sale's today, so wonder how much money I made in carvings today, or how many I sold. Yep. Those owl planters that I carved, I don't know if you guys can hear me. Those owl planters that I carved, like 10, I made a posting on Facebook, like 10, I turned it off so nobody could comment on it. I turned comments off. Like 10 ladies messaged me, how much for the owl succulent planters? I'm like, well, I told them the price, and I can't reserve them for them because the kids need to save them. Anyways, whatever, I'll get this shit cleaned up. So they're all planted and chicken manure and dirt mixed up. Those suckers are going to take off. Give some brightness to here. Who remembers the old beehive? So I left. It was a grand day. Oops, I stopped recording. Had a super good time. This is a beefcake treehouse. You know, I left everything thick and wide because now I can take a picture of it, and you know, with the new apps with your phones, you can draw on the picture and you can see where you want this, because this is going to be a succulent plant holder again too. But lots of room. You know, it would have been better if I had my bigger carving bar here, because it was tricky to get in here towards the top for the roof. I still need to slope it down more. So I said I'll just wait. Like, this one's good. I like the shape of this one, but it still can come down some more, right? You know, the lower I take it down, the less copper I have to use, because, like, I don't know if I said earlier in the video, I'm going to cut each shingle copper individually. I'm going to put a real valley in here. I'm going to put real ridge caps up here. And each copper shingle is going to be nailed on. I'll probably have to use friggin' needle nose pliers and little copper nails. You can see how still there's not much movement on this piece, but give it some time. There's no rush, Jordy. There's no rush. I want this to be my greatest carving yet when I'm done this. This house is going to be a lot bigger than the last one too. And you can see I didn't carve too deep in these things. I took my time. I cleaned up there as I went. Tried to clean up here. It's just about, it's about having a good time for me anyways. And you can look, I didn't measure this roof quite properly. Like, look how big this one is compared to this one. I don't care. And another thing too, now you can see the shape of the way the tree was. Right? So I'm just leaving this, trying to leave it natural shape. I can cut all these perfectly straight, like that. But no, like this for example, leaving it natural. Anyways, so the treehouse part 2, take 1. Carve Infusion, over and out. I got that redwood cleaned up, and I'm gonna carve a cool lamp out of it. Let's give you the full 360 of this thing. I bought 4 plants for $15 today, but only 3 fit in here, so I'll put one at home. Anyways, full 360. Love to hear you guys' ideas. Your guys' ideas gives me ideas when you leave comments below. I'm going to get some more of that glue and just freshly pour it in here. I basically carved all that glue away. Okay, full 360. Tree, house, roof. Now I'm gonna go home, see how much pieces I sold from the garage sale today. Oh, before I go here, here's a piece of that redwood. It's an offcut from the lamp thing that I'm doing. But can you guys see that bird's eye in there? Yeah, this is I'll carve something on this. Dremel carving, wintertime.